we are actually going to do homework before class. It's a miracle. So, while I'm uploading 7 videos and streaming at the same time, is that a problem? I don't know. Looks like it isn't. Starting the timer because I only have an hour and 8 minutes before class. So, oh my goodness. So I don't think I need any of these opened. We are going to do our final quiz. There's also a supplementary quiz, but I'm not going to do it. I'm pretty sure it's not required. It's like extra credit. So, quiz over part 12. I wonder how much of this I'm going to get done. And I'm going to have a microeconomics class later today, so... Yes. How many questions? Ooh. Oh, that's a lot of questions. 23. Oof. Alright. More questions equals it's less bad to get questions wrong, but on the other hand, it's more work. So. Okay, and then part 12, A, B, exhibits as well, possibly, maybe going to be needed, but I don't know. 11A, 12A, rather. B. Let's see how long these things are. Probably about all the normal length for each part. And then we just got exhibits. He has taken some questions from exhibits, but not very many. A lot of the quizzes just have no questions at all from the exhibits. Or maybe they do, I just missed it or something. So this is just a bunch of exhibits for this one. I have so many tabs open. I mean, I don't really have a choice. I have to have all these tabs open. I'm uploading 7 videos. Streaming. And timing myself. I need every single tab open. Technically. Oh, this tab doesn't have to be open, but I don't know why. I just prefer to have this open in case I need something from here. I guess we did need Word to be open because I forgot. I entered my answers into a Word document. So, my goal for this class... Actually, I don't know what the difference between A and an A minus is. I don't know if I can really get an A in this class. Or an A. Yeah, an A. Like, I think I'm probably stuck at an A minus now, but... Just at least... bare minimum, I have to get an A. I'm not going to get B in this class. It's at 92%. It should be good. As long as I get over 90% on the quiz, I should be good. So, we are going to sniff multiple times. even though I blew my nose like a billion times before streaming because it's so stuffed up. Read the summaries and then answer a bunch of questions. And wait, why does it say? Oh, I'm done. I think it's 22:30, correct? So I'm pretty sure I think one quiz had more questions than this because it was a quiz over 2 parts, and for some reason there was like a bunch of questions for both parts instead of just combining the two. Like, let's check. See, this is why this tab is open. 30. I think that was the biggest quiz we had. 30 questions, and I got 28 out of 30. What's the worst quiz I've had? It's funny, every single quiz I've never gotten more than 2 questions wrong. But since the one of them had 16 questions, that means that one has the worst grade because it's the fewest amount of questions and getting the most amount wrong, which is 2. So still not bad, but my worst grade on a quiz ever was an 88%. That's my worst. What? Oh wait, no. Dang it, 14 divided by 16. 87.5% is my worst grade on a quiz. And if you get 2 questions wrong on a 24-point quiz, you get a 91.6%. It's not very much difference, but whatever. So anyways, now we have a 23-point quiz. And if I get 2 questions wrong, I will end up with 91%. If I get 3 questions wrong, it's 86%. But yeah, let's definitely not do that. Can't believe our entire class is just made up of quizzes. I have to start reading. Yay, internet. One of the key sources of oh, really? Oh. One of the key sources of oligopoly. How long is the summary? Oh my goodness gracious me. 3 pages. In any economy. Let's see how many pages. 22, 20, 11. One of the key sources of oligopoly in any economy originates in barriers to entry of new sellers in an industry. These consist of several conditions that inhibit or raise the costs of the introduction of new sellers into a market by affecting either the decisions of firms outside the industry regarding attempted entry into the industry by either merger, acquisition of existing sellers, or de novo means investment in entirely new facilities for production and marketing. The rate at which new sellers can implement plans to enter the industry. Thus, the higher the entry barriers, other things being equal, the more protection incumbent firms, those in the industry, have against new competitive challenges, either temporarily or in the long run. Unfortunately, industrial economists cannot apply precise quantitative measures. Can't believe we're almost done with this semester. Unfortunately, industrial economists cannot apply precise quantitative measures to the assessment of the strength of entry barriers, which must, as a result, be accomplished by careful consideration and weighing of several relevant factors that affect such conditions, most of which are discussed in these notes. In such assessments, industrial economists must take into account not only the strength of entry barriers, but also their stability over time. Some barriers may be effective for only short periods, which limits their economic importance. We shall find it useful here to identify three basic categories of entry barriers distinguished by the primary set of conditions creating them. Those created primarily by technological conditions, those created primarily by market economic conditions, and those created primarily by legal political conditions. Use of this classification should not distract us from recognizing that, in fact, any entry barrier is usually a complex product of all three of the conditions or forces noted above. My nose is all stuffed up. Dang it. Come on. Entry barriers of the first type can become effective when the technological conditions in an industry make de novo entry and not economical only if accomplished gradually over a year or more, during which time incumbent sellers are protected against new competition. Obviously, this barrier is relevant to industrial entry attempted by means of merger, which can usually be accomplished relatively quickly also, though, as we shall see, not without substantial risks. Technological conditions in an industry make possible intensive competition by innovation, as a result of which one of a few firms develop or acquire production techniques far superior to those that potential entrants can profitably obtain, giving the leading firms formidable competitive advantages that, at least in the short run, deter entry of new sellers. These advantages are especially strong if, as will often be the case, the superior techniques of the leading firms are appropriated as intellectual property in the form of as utility patents, which by themselves put up legal entry barriers. Technological conditions generate substantial economies of scale, which are fully realized only at output rates equal to a large proportion of total industrial output at current prices, as fully explained in the notes. When these conditions are met, entry into the industry may be discouraged, as potential entrants confront the dilemma of choosing between entering with fully efficient plants, which runs the risk of flooding the market with output and setting off an unprofitable price war, or avoiding that risk by coming in with smaller, less efficient plants, which forces new sellers to produce at costs higher than those incurred by the incumbent firms producing in larger, more efficient plants. Either of these options poses risks of substantial losses for new sellers. Entry barriers. I just can't help it. I just can barely breathe. Entry barriers of the second type? What are you talking about? Innovation thing? Although certainly products and part of technological forces affect markets primarily as a result of the financial conditions that they bring about, the most important of these conditions is measured by the absolute monetary cost of accomplishing industrial entry. Other things equal, the higher the cost, the fewer the firms who can finance entry, either by use of internal or borrowed funds, and who can bear the financial risks of attempted entry, which, if successful, may expose firms to substantial losses, especially if, as often will be true, a large part of the expenditures on entry generate sunk costs which cannot be recovered or recouped by subsequent sales assets. Incumbent firms can scare off potential entrants and thus raise entry barriers by engaging in certain kinds of strategic behavior that tend to lower the expected gains from industrial entry. Most often by raising its expected costs. These objectives can be accomplished by preemptive purchase of essential inputs, including patented technology, entering into exclusive dealing contracts with either suppliers or customers, or infrequently threats to attack new sellers with limited access to credit, with predatory pricing, malicious price discrimination, in addition to granting utility patents. The U.S. government can strengthen entry barriers and protect incumbent firms against new competition by erecting tariffs or quotas that restrict foreign competition, and by enforcing regulations on entry into certain industries, many of which were repealed during the 1880s. Some economists believe these legal political entry barriers are the only ones worth our attention. Oh, what is this? Unfortunately, this doesn't have a summary. Ooh. Let's see here. So, other things being equal, entry barriers in an industry are greater the longer the time required for de novo entry, but I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. The risk of competition from new sellers. The risk of competition Can I just answer the second question? Okay. An industry in which the technology allows for significant economies of scale must also have high barriers to entry. I don't know. Darn it. Okay, how can firms set themselves up as utilities in the market for the X they can merge?